Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vonder Zacharias. Today I'm going to be answering a couple questions for this interview, and and yeah. So let's get straight into it. The first question is going to be, how would someone you work with describe you? I think they would describe me as someone who is very communicative, reliable, and responsible. I'm very communicative with my team. Um, just processing things like if there's trouble on the site, if there's failures, any type of vandalism, anything like that, I'm very communicative, telling them what's going on, how it happened, what time it happened, and things of that nature. Letting the following officer that comes in for my shift, letting them know what happened, to what to look out for and what to be aware of. Things like if I'm gonna miss a day, letting them know in advance when I'm missing the day and why I can't show up. So that my team knows and my supervisor knows, so that they know how to handle a situation when I'm not there. And yeah, and I would say for reliability, calling me in when someone needs a cover, I'm usually one of the first persons to get a call from, so that I can get a cover, because they know that I'm one of the most reliablest person to come in for that shift. And I love helping out my team, so if they need any help in any type of way, I'm always there to help them out for sure. So the second question would be, how do you deal with conflict? I think the best way I deal with conflict is definitely first addressing. Um, if I have conflict with, let's just say, another colleague of mine, I would definitely want to talk to him first before going to any type of supervisor or higher up, because I just want to see if we can solve it out, between us as grown adults, and see if that's something that we can solve out and just hash it out, and have operations run smoothly. So I definitely would see how we can solve that problem and how we can move on from the quote unquote problem. I'm a man that takes full responsibility if I am in the wrong, and I definitely will apologize if I am in the wrong. So that's definitely something that I would do. If that doesn't work, then I would for sure go to the higher up and get advice from him or her, and see if they can help in any type of way, what I can do on my part to make operations run smoothly, what I can do on my part so that things are easier for the team. And if that means kind of not really communicating with the person, maybe the person doesn't really appreciate the way I communicate with them or something like that, then I can work on that. Just things like that, just things, small things that I can work on my part, so that everything runs smoothly and we can hash it out and have operations run properly. So my third question is going to be, tell me about a time when you were creative in solving a problem. So I think a time when I solved the problem was actually recently, when I was working within a group, and everybody was getting their job done. Everybody was, doing what they needed to do, except one person. And, the deadline is coming up, coming up, coming up, and they still haven't done nothing. They haven't done no work. And, I first tried reaching out to them. Hey, would you like to do this right here? Questions 6 through 8, or, would you like to present, or any type of things? No response, which is fine. If you don't want to respond and just end up doing the work itself, totally fine with it. I would appreciate if you did communicate with me, but if you end up doing the work, it's okay for me. Um, so then he just never ended up doing the work. And one thing that we had to solve was, because of the due date coming up, and coming up quickly, we had to cover for him, and we had to uh solve those problems because he didn't want to. So I took it into my own hands to come out into the group chat and say, I'll do these questions, and these questions, and then you can do this one and you can do this one, so that we can just finish this and hash it out, and just turn it in, and do what we need to do. But definitely that time, that was a big problem for us, because everybody was just texting in the group chat, who's going to do this question, who's going to do this question. So I took it into my own hands to just do those questions, and then I said, I left one or two questions for everybody else to answer, so just go ahead and answer those, and boom, we can turn it in, and perfect. Um, so the last question I have is, tell me about a time when you worked with people in a group situation. A time that I worked in a group situation is for sure, my old job at fast food. Just working in that environment, you have to be able to communicate with your group. You have to be able to, find ways to communicate in the best way, because not everybody takes the right type of communication. So definitely working in that environment and working in that group was definitely one of the best times I've worked, for sure. And it's taught me a lot for sure. It's taught me just an amazing way to communicate with my team, an amazing way to be able to operate when things are getting hard, or when those quote unquote rushes are coming in, and it's lunchtime and you just gotta hurry up, pack up the food, get up out of here, and things of that nature. And yeah, for sure. So just want to thank everybody for coming, and hope we can talk to you later. Thank you.